So the first three episodes of Legend of Korra premiered just a couple of hours ago on Nickelodeon. I had already seen the third episode because of the leaks, but the first and second episodes were really well done. In all honesty, I just tuned in to see Zuko. Does that make me a bad person? The episode starts with Boomy airbending, and we saw a little bit of this in the trailer, but I didn't go with the idea just because I thought he was being pranked by one of Tenzin's kids. I thought like either Milo or Janora or Iki were bending, and they were making him think that he could bend. And if you notice the way that he bended that disc, like at the table, the way Aang used airbending to make the scooter, like it would take like some technique, and he just all of a sudden started doing it. So I'm like, I don't know, that looks kind of suspicious. But no, it turns out that a lot of people are awakening airbending abilities all over the world, and they don't explain it as much as I would have wanted them to. They just say, oh, it has something to do with the spirit portals being kept open. Yada, yada, yada. Go with that explanation. Who gets to decide whether somebody becomes an airbender or not? Like, does it have to do with lineage? Like, genes? Like, if I had, like, a great uncle down the line that was an air monk or whatever the hell, is that how it works? I don't know. So it just seems kind of random at first. And then, like, there's this one part where this guy is, like, trying to commit suicide. I guess that's what they were going for. And he's at the Golden Gate Bridge, and he wants to jump. And he tells Korra the most ridiculous thing. He says, I don't want to be an airbender. Who the fuck, like, given the opportunity, who the fuck would not want to be able to bend one of the elements? There's this one part where, like, Tenzin is being nostalgic about the airbenders and, looking at the statue of Aang, and then he has a conversation with Korra, and I don't know if this is like the writer sneaking in like this message to the viewers about just going with this whole new season, because Tenzin tells Korra, true wisdom is about accepting things the way they are. I don't agree with that, to be honest. I think true wisdom is about knowing, accepting things, certain things as they are, but also knowing what things you can change and what things you can't. If your body was burning, okay, if you were on fire, would it be wise to accept your body as it is, or would you try and jump in a pool to try and put the fire out? There are some vines taking over Republic City, and even after Korra's spirit bends them away, they come back even stronger. And to be honest, I think that was just a plot device to sort of get Korra out of Republic City, because by the end of episode 1, she's just expelled from the city by the president. The vines are even screwing up. Like, there was this one lady that said, oh, like, the public water services are being fucked up, and that is a huge problem. Like, no wonder the approval ratings of the Avatar and the president are just plummeting. If you don't have any plumbing, that is a bad situation. So what you have is just a bunch of people in these buildings smelling each other's shit for days on end. There is some Korrasami in this. I guess the creators wanted to cater to the Tumblr fangirls. Sami is teaching her how to drive stick. This is not sexual in any way, shape, or form. Wink, wink. And look, they're bonding over Mako's assholishness. Two hot, independent young women bonding over a guy being an asshole. Now, if that's not the ass crack of feminism, I don't know what is. And speaking of Mako, was I the only one who half expected a girl to come up from under his desk after he had picked up the phone? I want to talk about the villains of this season. It looks like we're getting an elemental 4. One villain per element. And the first one we get acquainted with is this man called Zahir. And he's being watched by the White Lotus. He is imprisoned in a cell, and he's being kept there by the White Lotus. Now, these fuckers are dangerous if the White Lotus are watching them. And by the end of this third episode, 3 of the 4 have already escaped. So that is just bad news altogether. I wonder if, and this is just a theory, I wonder if they have anything to do with Mako, Bolin, and Kai's parents being murdered. I do want to bring up a couple of points that just didn't work well for me. Number one is like Zahir being able to airbend so well, even though he's a new airbender. Like, all the new airbenders we've seen don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're afraid, they're skeptical, they're like, whoa, okay, this came out of nowhere. Oh, we even get this like Napoleon Dynamite guy. Did you see that? Gosh. Anyway, so they don't know what the hell they're doing, so it was really surprising to see Zahir like on top of it. Like, that's how he breaks out. Just straight the fuck up airbends his way out of prison He's jumping off these cliffs. So how the fuck is he able to airbend so well, even though he just got his powers? And then the guy who's able to bend lava, I initially thought, and I said this in the previous video, I apologize, I thought that he was a firebender. Because to me it made more sense. This guy is capable of taking earth and heating it up to such an extent that it turns into lava, right? And by the way, you can totally tell what type of bender these guys are just by looking at their prison cells. So when I saw the wooden cell, I'm like, okay, this guy is definitely not a firebender. People were making the connection between this bender and like water benders and how they're able to bend steam and ice. But I'm like, wait a minute, steam and ice is technically still water. The molecular arrangement is different, right? In ice, it's more compact, and gas, it's kind of like the molecules are all over the place. Like this guy is using a lava shuriken. Sasuke! The main cast is headed over to Ba Sing Se, Earth Kingdom territory, to find these new airbenders, because Korra gets kicked the fuck out of Republic City. And before they leave, Ikki and Milo are complaining that Jinora gets to go, but they don't. And the reason for that is very simple. They have a love interest planned for Jinora, because romance, whether you like the couples or not, is like at least 35% of the show. I really like the way that they approached Tenzin wanting to get the air nomads to join him, because they were really realistic about it. Because if you think about it, being an air nomad is almost an extinct type of culture that hasn't been around. It has not been implemented throughout the majority of this world. So it's like, I mean, yes, we understand that we have new powers, but why the hell should we join you? Why should we change our lives? That is just, it's an ability. It's not a way of life. So in that sense, I think the show made Tenzin look a little bit naive in the fact that he expected that these people were suddenly just gonna, just leave everything like disciples and just go join him. We get to Ba Sing Se. The queen is a total bitch, but one of the things that I thought was really well highlighted is the socioeconomic divide amongst people of I guess the lower walls. I mean, this has reminded me of Attack on Titan, because we do have this group of people that is living in between these walls in accordance to their economic class. So I hope the show tries to address that at some level, at some point, and that we get some type of resolution. Hopefully, maybe Korra makes a case for the monarchy not being necessary anymore. I mean, because we do see like these very big issues come up pertaining to the fact that the monarchy may not be working with the taxpayers, with Mako and Bolin's family. Like they're living in a very, very poor area, right? Like they don't have a lot of money. Like the fruit that this guy has to sell is all rotten. This book is called Change, so hopefully something does change in regards to how the Earth Kingdom is being run. That being said, if you notice the train, last time we were in Ba Sing Se with Toph and the gang, the train was, I think it ran on Earth. Like it was an earth bending technique that allowed it to just go all over Ba Sing Se, and now it's an actual locomotive. Dai Li are not to be trusted, I'll just say that much. And then finally, Zuko. This guy became more of a boss as he aged. Like you have the whole Avatar Roku thing going on, / Iroh, it's a little bit of both, Iroh and Roku deal, beard thing. Epic as hell. He gets on his dragon, and like a boss, he's like, I don't need your intel. I already know where these fuckers are going. It's so cold, firebenders can't bend in that prison. It'd be kind of funny if Azula was one of the prisoners, if Zuko was walking by, he was just like, hey sister, how's it going? I thought it was a moderately good start for the season. Tell me your thoughts, guys. Thank you so much for watching and sticking with me throughout this entire video. I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate your likes a lot, your subscription a lot more. I already know what's going to happen up until episode 6, so I hope you enjoy the upcoming material. And the fights always look good, which is why I didn't really talk about them as much, because it's like, they just look so well choreographed and animated. Even had some slow-mo shots in between some of the fights. Great stuff. Like the video if you did. Subscribe. Tell me your thoughts. I'll catch you guys later.